Against Everton, we saw Ten Hag using Bruno Fernandes in what I would describe as a traditional regista role, which essentially is a deeper line playmaker who dictates the play when the side have sustained possession in the middle third, also looking to be a creative force in the final third. Fernandes prior to Ten Hag was being used as a number 10 in a 4-2-3-1, playing more like a forward at times, defending in a front two and holding a higher position between the lines in possession, as well as making runs in behind the back line from a deeper position. However, under Ten Hag, whilst he has still played as the most advanced of a midfield three, he has been asked to drop deeper at times in possession, to help with the progression of the ball into the final third. But in this game against Everton, he was playing almost a Pirlo-esque role, being the deepest midfielder when United dropped into their 3-1-6 possession shape in the middle third, and from this position he was a key weapon in progressing the ball forward quickly, with him starting counters after receiving the ball in deep positions in United's half, and we saw this at the start of the game with a wonderful pass from midway inside his own half, releasing Antony in behind Godfrey and setting Antony free for a 1v1 opportunity against Pickford, which Pickford was able to save. And this quick, vertically direct counter, utilising the passing range of Fernandes to find the runs of Antony and Rashford with their pace in behind a relatively slow Everton backline, was a method that United had a lot of success with throughout this game. But we also saw Fernandes able to pull off a different type of pass to start a counter as well, when Rashford knocked the ball into him after a loose ball fell into his path, and Fernandes, midway inside his own half again, sees Jadon Sancho is making a bursting run into the centre past Fernandes, and so Bruno first time is able to guide the ball with perfection into Sancho's path, and this is the type of situation where I think Sancho thrives, when he has a ball at his feet in the middle third with space ahead, running at the opposition's back line, with a few runners either side to support him, and he manages to literally spin past two Everton players before moving the ball into Antony, and from here it's Sabitzer rather than Fernandes who's making that long bursting run ahead of the ball, and Antony finds it, resulting in a decent shot and another good save from Pickford. So you can see how vital Fernandes is to United's counter-attack from this deep position. But the trade-off is obviously that you then don't have him in the final third to take advantage of this type of shooting opportunity that he was at the centre of creating for Sabitzer. But I feel like at the moment it's essential to United's overall attack that Fernandes plays in this deep role, as if you push him further forward you completely lose that creative long passing ability, especially with Eriksen still absent, as well as Sabitzer, Fred, McTominay and even Casemiro to the same level, not having the same ability as Fernandes. And this can be reflected by the fact that United recorded a massive XG of 4.39 throughout the whole game against Everton compared to their 0.95, which I would heavily attribute to United's counter-attack, with Fernandes being the key weapon. When Eriksen comes back into the starting 11, then we may see Fernandes push further forward alongside McTominay, playing as one of those forward runners in the midfield, the role McTominay and Sabitzer played so well in the game against Everton. But when Eriksen isn't on the pitch, I think Fernandes has to play in that role because the front three of Sancho, Antony and Rashford are a lot more suited to quick transitional football rather than a slow methodical style, and this is because both Rashford and Antony are much more threatening when they're running in behind the back line into goal scoring positions, and Sancho is better at carrying the ball into space in the middle third, and so neither of the three excel at breaking down a deep defensive unit, and so by having Fernandes starting attacks from these deep positions, you are also subsequently getting the best out of your front three. Now obviously the news has now come out that Rashford may be out for the rest of the season, but I would say this also applies to Alejandro Garnacho, his likely replacement as well. Beyond this season, however, I'm not sure if Fernandes would have a permanent place in this role, as he definitely still has his deficiencies, with the main example defensively being when he was ball watching in the middle third, allowing Ellis Sims to run off the back of him, which at the time looked like a Malacia error, but was actually down to Fernandes' initial positional mistake. But I do still think that someone like Frankie de Jong would be much better suited to this role, being a lot more press resistant and a better carrier of the ball in the defensive third. And whilst I would say that Fernandes is the more creative of the two, being a better chance creator and progressor of the ball into the final third via his passing, de Jong is much better at carrying the ball past players to move it into dangerous positions, and I think his overall circulation of the ball is better than Fernandes, being able to move the ball on quickly, and in the same way that someone like Marco Verratti does to a world-class level, de Jong also has the ability to dictate the tempo of big games, whereas I don't think Fernandes is at that level yet. But even if he does move back to a more advanced position as a 3A, sitting in the front six in the 3-1-6 possession shape, I do think that as he enters his early 30s, around 31-32, he could start to fully transition into a deep line playmaker, who sits in front of the opposition midfield line, with these players being essential to breaking down compact defensive units in the modern game, and we've seen a number of players who were firmly attacking midfielders, number 10s, dropping deeper into midfield to prolong their careers at the top level, with David Silva and Santi Cazorla being two perfect recent examples, and players like Steven Gerrard and Paul Scholes dropping even deeper to play more as a regista in their early 30s, utilising their passing range as an attacking weapon from deep, but also as Fernandes would need with a more industrious midfield built around them, with Gerrard at the base of Brendan Rodgers' midfield diamond, with Henderson to his right and Coutinho or Joe Allen to his left, and Paul Scholes being partnered by Ji-sung Park in Ferguson's last Premier League side from 2009 to 2013, with the likes of Ji-sung Park, Darren Fletcher, Nani and Ashley Young all playing important and defensively diligent roles around him. As I said in previous videos, I am now doing full video and channel reviews, so if you want me to give you any advice or feedback for a specific video or for your whole channel, you can send an email to atlantisfootball96@gmail.com. But if you just enjoyed the video, you can check the description for more, you can subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you do get notified when the video comes out, and put your thoughts in the comment section below, and you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which will be in the description, for more content as well.